think I've aged out of the system. Thank you, Madam Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Wow, you know, it's hard to believe it's been 8 years, although it feels like 80 sometimes. Crap, hang on. No, I cannot help you put anything in standings at this point, so shut up. You know, this really has been a great experience, a fantastic experience for me, and I'm very honored and humbled to have been able to serve in this chamber for so many years. So, you know, I wanted to start by simply just saying thank you, the thank yous that I need to say, and I truly, genuinely feel, obviously, first and foremost, my family. My kids are sick of parades, but family has sacrificed a lot for me to serve down here, and I'm very, very grateful for them. Obviously, friends back home. You know, they too have sacrificed a lot and have been very, very supportive. Obviously, I'd like to put in a little sponsorship plug here. I'd like to thank my employer, Boom Bank and Trust, the greatest bank in the world. We don't tax credit unions. Anyway. But in all honesty, you know, for any of us that are here in the chamber that have employers, you know what kind of sacrifice your employer needs to make for us to be here. And I don't think that they get thanked enough by the people of Iowa for their sacrifices. It's not easy to give up an employee for 4, 5, 6 months or however long it is. It's today, folks, by the way, so let's get this done. But the employers, you know, they sacrifice a lot too in order for us to be here, and they deserve, you know, our gratitude as well. Obviously, I'd like to thank you know, the lobby. The lobby's been great to me throughout, even though I think they'd like to throw me into the bus a lot, and they should, but for good reasons. And there's a lot of other people, and I'm not naming really specific people because I know there's too many people for me to thank, and I'd leave somebody out. But one person I will specifically mention is Amanda Willey. She's been with me through judiciary, you know, again, all 8 years, but specifically during my time as chair. Truth be told, she really ran the committee, so you know, all credit goes to her. You know, the hard part about giving your speech kind of toward the tail end is all the really good, poignant, sentimental, serious stuff has been said by everybody else already. So. And that's not me anyway, right? So I thought what I would do is, I jotted down a few things last night, that just some lessons that I've learned during 8 long years, you know, serving in the Iowa House. And you'll have to bear with me. Some of these are personal, some of these are kind of inside baseball or jokes, and you guys, whoever is supposed to get it will get it, right? You know, first and foremost, one of the most valuable lessons that especially new representatives can learn around here is that caucus is really only a suggestion. You know? Most of us don't need to go to caucus to have a bill summary read to us, but maybe some of us do. But the best part is that I didn't go very much. That was good for me. I don't care about the rest of it. Another lesson that I learned, and I really came home to roost this year and last year when I got the pleasure of serving on the Agricultural Committee, is that farmers in this place really do hate lawyers. Until Poston wanted to become one. And he's getting there. They really hate lawyers until they need one of their own, and then you're their best friend. And so that's another little lesson that, or maybe just an observation instead of a lesson. Another little thing that I learned, and this is back in year 1, was that you know how badly you've messed up when the voting machine isn't even closed yet and your mom's on the phone. It happened, seriously. I mean, yeah. So I didn't vote the way Mama Bear wanted me to, which is, you know, that happened a lot probably too. Another lesson I learned is be nice to the doormen and the doorwomen in this place. They're the ones that really have the power to screw you over. If you've ever tried to avoid somebody and the doorman just keeps sending the note in and telling them outside, "Hey, they're really in there," yeah, that's the fun part about it. So kudos to the doormen and doorwomen. You protected me from a lot of stuff over the years, and I can't thank you enough for that. You know, another lesson that's kind of hard for some people to learn is that the lobby just truly doesn't appreciate the job security I've tried to provide them over 8 years by killing their bills 8 years in a row. You know, sometimes they just, they're slow learners actually, but, you know, kudos for persistence, but they keep going back to the client. This is the year, I think we can get it. And, you know, I'm sorry about that. Well, really not, but that's okay. Another observation, probably instead of a lesson, is that some of my most awkward moments in this building have come standing in the men's urinal over here. And I'm not going to explain that, but I swear to God it's true. For like umpteen different reasons. You can read that in chapter 16 of my forthcoming book that's going to come out later on. Probably one of the favorite lessons that I learned, although I think you'll figure out why it wasn't somebody else's favorite lesson, was never believe that person who tells you that the best way to get what you want is to go charging into the speaker's office in the middle of the night before sine die and start dropping F-bombs. Paulson was laughing like crazy when he gave me that advice, and now I understand why, as does our current speaker, I think, and I sincerely apologize for that may have happened. It might be a myth as well. You know, another lesson that I've learned, or again, maybe an observation, is, you know, I think it's probably universal around here that when I took on this job, I kind of did it my way and still do it my way. But that's not unique to me. And this is something I mean seriously to each and every one of you in here. Nobody will do your job like you do. And that's a good thing. It takes the unique personalities that you each have, and you each got here by different paths, but nobody will ever do your job the way you do, even when the successors come. But what I do know is this: the institution of this body will continue on. It just changes somewhat, but always appreciate the fact of your individuality and the fact that you do the job the way you do it. And that's the best that anybody can expect at that point in time. We're getting closer to the end, so bear with me for just a second. Another little bit more painful lesson for me was, you know, earlier this year I found out that the back seat of a police car was not built for comfort. Oh, come on. Man, tough crowd here tonight. This morning. Maybe it's because you're dreading what you got ahead of you, huh? Another quick little lesson is always hold your friends close and Farmgirl closer. I'm here all night, folks. This one is my favorite of all of these, maybe. If you're ever approached with a really dumb idea, that means the Senate will probably pass it. And that's a bipartisan sentiment, by the way, because we had 6 years of Democrats on the other side and 2 years of Republicans, and that's a universal concept that you appreciate when you're in the House of Representatives. You know, my last lesson that I've learned here is that I'm still batting 1,000 on being right. And it never gets old. Maya, you should try it sometime. You might like it. I'm kidding. Yes. Thank you. I just won a bet that I wouldn't get point of order during my retirement speech. would love to approach the well one last time on that. Now, in all seriousness, there was one last group of people that I would like to thank, and I mean this profusely. I would like to thank the lawyers, my fellow lawyers that serve in this chamber. And it doesn't matter whether you're Democrats or Republicans, your advice and counsel and input and thought and analysis has been invaluable to me and to the body. And as much as the farmers like to make fun of us, you know, we take our jobs very seriously, we take our roles very seriously, and I greatly appreciate all of the input that is there on that. So with that, I'm gonna pass on. After all those lessons, I've got 3 pieces of advice for the chamber, and so bear with me and indulge me just a little bit more as I patronize you with this. But you know, first of all, in all seriousness, continue to disagree on the policy. Have the debates, have the discussions, disagree on the policy all you want. But at the end of the day, be nice to the people that you're disagreeing with. They're people too, even though, you know, sometimes some of us, we get a little agitated and passionate, which is a good thing. But at the end of the day, always be nice to the people that you're serving with, because I think it will serve you well in the long run, and I've been very blessed by people being nice to me, even though I might not have deserved it all the time. Second piece of advice, stating the obvious here, don't drink and drive. It's not worth it, trust me on that. And last but not least, please have your pets spayed and neutered. In all seriousness, to each and every one of you, thank you so much for the honor of serving with you and the privilege of sitting in this seat. It has been my honor and privilege. So thank you all very much. Peace out, Iowa.